This is the FESLEY FDK800, and in this video, we're going to take a closer, more in-depth look at this instrument. I'll be doing an unboxing, an overview, a full set of demos, and of course, my review and thoughts on it. Let's dive in. And opening this up, so we have what looks to be a tuner, some FESLEY picks. So they also give you a cable, trem bar, strap, instruction manual, which the previous FESLEYs have come with. There's also a 1000 grit fret eraser sanding block in here. So let's go ahead and get a better look at the guitar itself. All right, so the good news is this is very well packed, as you can see. I'll be sure to leave affiliate links in the description and the comments to this guitar. Just keep in mind, I may earn a small commission from it. This is the FESLEY FDK800, and it's been about 3 weeks since I did the initial unboxing video. In that time, I've put anywhere between 15 to 20 hours of playtime on this guitar, and it's really given me a good idea of the feel of the instrument. What I'd like to do first, before I get to the review, is do a quick rundown of the specifications so you guys have an idea of what we're working with. Starting on the bridge side forward, the bridge is a 2-point trem system on here. I haven't tried out the trem bar yet on it. I will definitely do that for a demo, but haven't tried out the trem bar yet. You are obviously a humbucker and 2 single coils. You have a volume and 2 tone switches and a 5-way selector switch. Really gives you a lot of options. I'll see if I can put up the graphic from FESLEY's page here to give you an idea of the different schematic of that 5-way switch. They claim it is a AAA top. I really don't know enough about tops to take a look at it and tell you if it's AAA or not. What I can tell you is it does look pretty good. The guitar does have a binding around the edge of the guitar here, as you can see. It is a 24 fret instrument, which I prefer. It's a 25.5 scale, which is also my preferred scale. So this guitar definitely kind of appeals to what I like in specifications. It is a C-shaped neck. The neck itself isn't really that thin or thick. It's kind of right in the middle. I find it to be very comfortable. The fretboard is Purple Heart, the fretboard material. The body of the guitar is Poplar, so kind of basic there, but the fretboard is Purple Heart, the neck is Maple, and you have a very kind of, basic tuner on here that are FESLEY branded, along with a headstock that has FESLEY logo, FESLEY name really on it. So what I'd like to go ahead and do now is fire up some demos. I'll demo all the different sequences here and really just try to give you a good understanding of how this guitar sounds. I'll get into the pros and cons, what I like about it, what I don't, and of course, my final thoughts on the instrument. So hopefully that gives you guys a good idea of how this guitar sounds, even though my playing is a little bit rusty. So let's go ahead and get into the pros and cons of this instrument, starting with the most obvious pro right out of the gate. It's a really good looking guitar. FESLEY states it's a AAA flame top, and I think I tend to agree with that. That's probably the case. It's a very good looking instrument. The binding, the color is very rich on it, and it just has the overall like feel of a quality guitar. To be perfectly honest with you, when my wife saw it, she was like, wow, that's really a good looking instrument. You don't even own a purple guitar. I was like, no, you know, I don't own a purple guitar, but I really do like the looks of this one. The second pro to this instrument is going to be something that I did already mention as well, and that's going to be the improved fretwork. It's definitely clear that FESLEY has been watching these reviews, mine and other YouTubers as well, and one of the biggest gripes we all had was that although we loved the instruments, the fret ends were a little bit sharp, and on this guitar, the fretwork is done really well. The fretwork on this guitar really is fantastic for a sub $300 guitar. So with that said, you know, kudos to FESLEY there for listening to us and getting that fixed. The third pro to this guitar is definitely going to be the setup. Right out of the box, the guitar is playable. There was minimal fret buzz, if any, and the measurements of the fretwork that they had that was included on this tag were actually accurate when I measured it to the guitar. And while the action is definitely not as low as I would like it or prefer, and the neck does have a little bit of what appears to be some front bow when I kind of measured it out, there is a little bit of room for play in case the wood flexes because it's shipped to a drier or more humid area. So this setup is kind of at a point where there's a little bit of play either direction so that the guitar will still be playable when it arrives to you. The good news is if you're a beginner, you're going to be able to play the guitar right out of the box. Speaking of beginners, that brings us to pro number 4, and that's going to be all of the different accessories that this guitar comes with. If you've never played guitar, if you're just beginning, chances are you don't own a case, you don't own a tuner, a strap, or cables, so it's nice that they give you that. Pretty much this guitar is ready to go. The only thing you would be missing would be an amplifier. Did I mention that FESLEY also has amplifiers as well? Yeah, they sent me this to demo. This is going to be a future video, so be sure to sub the channel so that you don't miss it. This little portable Bluetooth amp, we're going to test this and see how it works out. Pro number 5 is definitely going to be price point. At the time of this video, this guitar is under $250. When you consider all of the accessories that you get and the overall fit and finish and fretwork of this instrument, I think it's a fantastic price for this guitar, and really it's going to make either an excellent beginner guitar or a really killer modding platform, which is what I plan to do with it. Pro number 6, this guitar does actually appear to have a bone nut. In looking at the nut on this guitar, and I'll try to get you guys a close-up to it, I'm seeing what appears to be a grain, which would indicate that it is actually bone. It doesn't appear to be hard plastic or a tusk nut. It definitely seems like it's bone, which if that is the case, and it appears to be, that's pretty impressive on a guitar at this price point. And it should be noted that the nut was slotted appropriately. There was no, that plinking sound when you're tuning or any pinching within the nut. And the guitar held tune really well. So much so that I probably should have made that another pro of the instrument, was that it held tune really well. And lastly, pro number 7, this bridge pickup sounds really good. It's hot with high output, makes for great metal and metal rhythms and lead guitar. I definitely felt like that was the highlight of the, I would say, tonal influence of this instrument. I plan to put hot rails in here, and I'm probably gonna replace it anyway because that's what I do, and it makes for great content. But you could buy this instrument and be perfectly happy with the bridge pickup, and depending on your taste, you may be happy with these single coils as well, but we'll get into that in a minute. So that's what I really liked about this guitar. I definitely think there's a lot of pros for this guitar being a sub $250 guitar, but like any instrument, like any budget instrument, or really any instrument that I own, there are cons to everything. And there are a few things that I didn't like on this guitar I felt like could be improved. And the first thing that is going to be that the neck pickup was just a little bit weak. Considering how hot the bridge pickup is, it would have been nice for this neck pickup to have a little more output. It does contrast the bridge pickup, so that might be something that you like. For me, I didn't really care for that. And to be fair, I'm not a fan of lower output pickups, particularly when the bridge and middle pickup are higher output. And the second thing I felt could be improved on this, the second only real con of the guitar, is that there are a few very slight finish blemishes. Again, that's something that's very common on a sub $300 guitar. I think pretty much every sub $300 guitar I own, I can find some sort of finish blemish on it, but it needs to be mentioned because it is a review and you need to know what you can expect. So essentially I had, one small little blemish here. Yeah, I know I'm being picky, but this is a review, to be fair. A couple of spots on the binding where the purple kind of faded into it, and it almost looks like it could have been buffed a little bit better right here, almost like they kind of missed that. So when I replace the pickups, I'm going to definitely buff that out and get it shined up. Other than that, this is actually a pretty solid instrument for the money. As I mentioned before, I do really like what FESLEY is doing, and it's cool that I've kind of seen the company evolve a little bit. They reached out to me at a very early stage with their career and kind of a very early stage in my YouTube channel. I don't have a lot of subscribers, so the fact that they were willing to send me an instrument and ask for a very honest, unfiltered opinion of it, to me is really cool. And the fact that they were taking that opinion to heart and making corrections, those are the type of companies that I like to work with. Companies that are trying to actively get better. They actually showed up at NAMM. They had a booth at NAMM. They emailed me. They were like, hey, are you going to be there? Unfortunately, I live on the other side of the country. Couldn't make it. But the fact that they're doing things like that and getting in touch with the guitar community and really listening to feedback, those things matter, and that's what's going to make them a better company in the future. So overall, this would make for an excellent beginner or first-time guitar. It comes with all the accessories you need to get going, and playable right out of the box, really needs nothing, and sounds really good. Along those same lines, it's going to make for an excellent modding platform, and that is exactly what I plan to do with it. So all in all, thank you guys for watching, checking out the channel. Be sure to sub so you don't miss anything that's coming forward. And as always, thanks for watching.